Hey, good evening, everybody. I'm Johnny Congdon. Jeff Spiegel has the night off. Well, we are just 2 days away from the annual A-Day spring game inside Bryant-Denny Stadium, and the last time fans had a glimpse of the Crimson Tide, well, it was up in Indianapolis after Alabama fell to Georgia in the national championship game. And this spring, well, the Tide are working to get back to that same game, but this time, just with a different result. And the word of the day, fundamentals. Nick Saban and his staff preaching the little things Thursday afternoon at the Malmore Athletic Facility. As spring practice winds down, Saban had a chance to meet with reporters for a final time before A-Day and touched on a number of aspects from the Crimson Tide's most recent scrimmage and talked about urgency for more disciplined football, which in turn will cut down on the number of negative plays.
You know, we made a lot of good plays. But we wanted to eliminate the bad plays. And most of the bad plays come from lack of focus, not focused on technique, not doing things exactly the right way, making mental errors, carrying the ball the right way, fundamental technique, and discipline will eliminate a lot of bad plays.
Let's head to the Stockyards now. Fort Worth, Texas, the site of this year's NCAA National Championship. The Auburn Tigers, led by Olympic gold medalist Suni Lee, looking to get to the Final Four. And let's start with Suni, a near perfect dismount. The judges would agree with me, a 9.9625, and then some more Suni. She saved her best stuff for the postseason here on the vault. A near flawless routine yet again. She'd score a 9.850. She'll take that to the bank. And then you know we had to finish with Darian Go-Byrne, whose floor routine is becoming legendary down on the plains. 9.9625. And the Auburn Tigers are headed to the Final Four after the meet. Head coach Jeff Graba spoke to the accomplishment of his team.
We come into this year and we don't have experience, and now we have experience. So we're going to go all the way to the end and get to see what we come up with. I'm just really proud of the group. We thought we were capable of this at the very beginning of the year, and they've just worked for it ever since. So it's good to see it paid off.
From Auburn to Bama now, former Alabama head coach Sarah Patterson in attendance, looking to win their first national title since she was coaching back in 2012. Bama would start strong on the bars. Maddie Willigar here for the strong routine, but then the wheels would fall off for the Tide. Lily Hudson, not the cleanest of landings, and then Lexi Grabner, well, a near perfect 10 would be needed to keep the Tide in it, and that just would not get it done. Alabama's season is over. And finally, let's go to the Diamond now for some softball. Alabama taking on Mississippi State. Taco versus hot sauce race before the game. And speaking of hot, those Bama Bats are red hot versus Florida last weekend against Miss State. Quiet until the 6th, but Megan Bloodworth would change that. In a shot to left field, we are tied at one apiece. Now, runners at the corners, bottom of the 7th, and it's not the most conventional way to walk it off, but a win is a win is a win. A wild pitch, and Savannah Woodard comes across to score, and Alabama defends their home in the Rhodes House. They take down Mississippi State by a final of 2-3. And a classic down in Mississippi State tonight baseball. This game just wrapped up just moments before we got on. Auburn loses to Mississippi State, and how did it end? With a walk-off walk. Mississippi State wins 7-6. They take game 1 of the series.
All right, thank you, Johnny, and stay with us. A final check on your forecast.